Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Gerardo Morillo, and today's topic is why do people love the fantasy so much? You don't have to go very far to see this as truth. Everywhere you go, people want the fantasy. Why do people watch movies? Why do people read like stories, books on these sort of topics, or of like storytelling books? Video games. Why do people play video games? Why do people seek entertainment so much? It's because it gives us an escape out of reality. And also, it does a lot more than just that as well. It gives us a different version of reality. It gives us a more fun, more creative, a more entertaining version of reality. Like, let's take cartoon shows, for example. Like, what kid doesn't want to be like Batman or Superman or Goku from Dragon Ball Z or any of the cartoon shows? Like, those are cool characters. They have great superpowers and stuff like that. What guy does not want those things in real life? In fact, every guy secretly or not secretly want those things. This is what they want. And I guess like the girls' version of this is like the queen and the princess and the female heroine. Is that how you say it? The female heroes, whatever. That's good enough. That's why we like the fantasy so much. We look up to those things. We look up to the fantasies because we secretly wish we were that. Also, we wish we could be more like that. Now, the thing is, this is a thing where at some point you realize that the fantasy and reality isn't too much different from a structure standpoint. I've been able to intellectualize this kind of recently. And to me, the fantasy and the reality, the same structure is like 80%, 70% intact. But what changes between the fantasy and the reality is really just the content. And this is true for many things, not just for this. But today we're talking about fantasy and reality here. So people love the fantasy because it gives them an escape outside of their everyday mundane lives, or an escape out of the boring, or maybe it's just a pleasurable experience, something more fun, it gives them a different kind of experience. It's another question. Why do people go on roller coasters? People don't go up that high in the sky, logically because it makes sense. It's just for that feeling of fun, for that sensational feeling of, wow, I feel alive, I feel something. And I know this is also true for me too. Like when I was younger, I really appreciated movies that made me feel some sort of profound effect. I don't know, like I guess like maybe The Mask, The Lion King, like those classical movies. Like I felt something when I was young when I would watch those movies, and I understood it. But if I had to verbalize it, would have been a little tricky too. But I definitely did understood it. It was something that was easy to understand but hard to articulate verbally. As I got older, you kind of learn to acquire these skills, and you get reasons to acquire these skills of how to articulate these things. And you start to feel these feelings of these different kinds of feelings. Whereas in our everyday lives, people are stuck in their jobs, people are stuck in school, people are stuck doing shit they don't like to do. They hate life because they're stuck doing the things they don't like to do. It's really quite that simple. So video games, books, fantasy books, or any kind of books that they can provide with an escape gives them a different quality of experience. A different experience. When I was younger, one of my favorite games was Kingdom Hearts. I used to love that game so much. I played it over and over and over and over and over. It gave me this really, really great experience. Also, when I was younger, I used to like to go to the haunting house. I just remember that. Like, I don't know if you guys ever been to like a Playland or Six Flags, and they used to have those like haunting house. I used to like to challenge myself. Like, it was like an act of bravery, an act of courage. And I used to love to do those things when I was younger. Not so much now, but I mean, I guess I can get in the mood for fun every now and then. But ultimately, we enjoy these sort of experiences because I guess it's one for fun, and two, it gives us an escape out of reality, out of the mundane everyday life. Now, is this reality always going to be this way? I have a hunch that reality will evolve to a kind of higher state of being at one point, where it'll be very much like the fantasy that we see on TV and on video games and on books and stuff like that. I have a hunch that things are going to be evolving, like moving in that direction. However, in this current state, we're still stuck in our kind of current reality. However, I also kind of adopted this mindset that whether we live in the fantasy world or reality world, it's still the same thing to me. It's still the same thing. Also, this reminds me, I recently watched a video, and this guy was making a great point about how people watch the WWE, WWF, and people know that stuff is fake. It's fake. People know it's fake, and people watch it anyways. People go on YouTube and watch prank videos for the simple fact that it's enjoyable, it's fun, it's funny, makes them laugh. And you see it in those things where people really enjoy those things, and it provides them a good temporary relief. And I guess I can kind of bridge this to the point that if you're in business or if you're a life coach, this is kind of like our roles. It's kind of like to be educational and also entertaining. Because if it's not entertaining, people get bored. People get bored. I know I get freaking bored. I have to find it within myself to kind of be present in the moment if I don't want to get bored. Otherwise, I get really bored. Particularly in business, we have to kind of bridge that gap between information and being entertaining, telling them the fantasy. Because if we told people the reality of stuff, it just doesn't work very well. That's why people sell the Disney version of reality. In fact, why is Disney so big? Why are they so popular? Why are they so big? They sell the fantasy version of life. They sell the fantasy, and that stuff is entertaining. People love that stuff. I know I like that stuff. I like to watch cartoons. I like to play video games. I like to do all that stuff too. So, I don't know, for you guys who are maybe in business or who want to get into business, you can see it from both perspectives here. Whereas consumers, they like information stuff and they like the kind of fantasy and the entertaining stuff. And if you are someone who just likes to binge on these things, maybe it just gives you some kind of self-awareness. But then again, you probably wouldn't watch my podcast, or you probably wouldn't listen to my podcast if you were really down that sort of path in your life. Then again, I could be wrong. We humans, we seek the escapes. We seek, especially if it gets us away from thinking. We humans, we don't like to think as much as we think we do. We kind of like to shortcut or outsource it or even delegate our thinking processes. And we don't, I guess you could say that we don't like to confront ourselves. We don't like to feel weird. We don't like to feel strange. We don't like to find out like our inner workings of our psyche, because once we confront ourselves, we are admitting to ourselves that there is a potential problem, and there is a kind of unknown factor there where by confronting ourselves, there is something behind the closet, behind our inner workings of our mind that is there, that maybe we are not quite ready to confront. And this ties into why we escape so much. We don't want to confront. And it's very taxing for our mental and physical beings to confront our inner psyche. So I'm just going to give you that with something to think about. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of Why People Love the Fantasy so much. I hope you guys like the video. If you like the video, please feel free to drop me a comment down below. If you have any topics that you wish for me to talk about, please feel free to drop down the comment down below. I will also be linking a couple of resources down below. End Self-Sabotage. This will help you properly set goals in a very practical step-by-step way. And I'm using the word step-by-step very loosely here. It just will help you become more practical about setting goals and accomplishing them too. Because most people don't know how to create goals and they don't have really realistic expectations about that. But anyways, I also created a Patreon account for people who want to support my videos. There has been a lot of people recently dropping me comments saying that they like my work has helped them in many ways, and that they would like to contribute to me. So I created a Patreon account for people who wish to support me. This will help me get better equipment, camera, website, etc. And it will help me be able to produce more higher quality content. I am looking to create more products one day. I'm looking to create ebooks, audios, more hypnosis, more affirmation things. It's just that my time and my resources are a little low at this point. If you wish to support me, please click on the resources down below. Check out End Self-Sabotage by my man George Hutton, a master hypnotist, and be sure to check me out on Patreon as well. Thank you. Bye bye now. Have a fantastic day.